guys, come with me for a day in my life as a data engineer. I'll show you my work day, the tools I use, and a quick look at our office. Let's go! My day usually starts around 6 in the morning. I get up, get dressed, do my makeup, pack my things, and of course, feed my dog before heading out. By 7 o'clock, I leave the house. Most days, I ride with my family, and they drop me off before heading to their own work. Today, it's just me and my dad in the car. The drive takes about 20 to 30 minutes, so I usually get to the office before 8 o'clock a.m. My workplace is inside Laguna Techno Park. It's a manufacturing company, and the site is really big, like a mix of warehouse and corporate offices all in one. Right now, the building I'm originally assigned to is under renovation, so we're temporarily working out of another building. Still, it's spacious and you definitely feel the scale of the company as soon you arrive. For this workday, I started my morning by answering emails, listing down my to-do list, and checking my action items. I also spent a bit of time catching up with my coworkers before diving into my tasks. Later in the morning, we had a meeting about a new project that our team will be working on, so it was a good chance to align and plan ahead. It's lunchtime, and usually I go out with my coworkers to eat at nearby malls, but sometimes I just stay here and eat at the company canteen. So let me show you what it looks like. Right now, it's not too crowded since it's already the tail end of our lunch break. What I really like about the canteen is the food. It's so much cheaper compared to what I used to spend in Manila. And the choices are complete, like pasta, home-cooked ulam, snacks, desserts, rice, and even soup. And for around 70 to 150 pesos, I can already get a whole full meal. I have never spent more than 150 here, and I always leave feeling super full, which is why I love it. Okay, so I had a bit of free time and thought I'd show you around the company. So photo and video recording is actually really strict here, so I can take you into exciting areas like the server room or the production lines. But hopefully with the following clips, you'll still get an idea of what the place looks like. I spent the rest of the day in full work mode, opening up VS Code, dbeaver, and other programming and database tools to get my usual coding done. I also had a few discussions with my coworkers, asking questions, getting help, and really squeezing my brain cells to hit today's goals. By 6 o'clock p.m., I started packing up and clocked out. Normally, I book an angkas or Grab to get home, but since it was raining really hard and no one was accepting my booking, I ended up carpooling with a coworker instead. After office, I head straight to the gym for my 5 to 9 routine. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Dara David, and you just saw a quick glimpse of my day in the life as a data engineer. And now we're moving into something I'm really excited about. So a few days ago, I asked you guys on my Facebook page and Instagram to send me your questions. And for today's video, I'll be answering them. So this is my very first Ask Me Anything as a data engineer, and I hope that by sharing my journey and experiences, you'll pick up something useful, whether you're a student, someone curious about tech, or even thinking about becoming a data engineer yourself. So let's get started. So let me share a bit about my background and career journey. So these cover some of the questions you guys sent, like how I landed my first data engineering role, why I made the shift from cloud to data. So I graduated with Latin honors in computer science from FU Alabang in February 2024. My first job was as a cloud developer, which I really enjoyed because I got to build systems on AWS and apply not just what I learned in school, but also what I picked up from being an active community member in AWS User Group Philippines. The only downside was the commute from Laguna to Manila, which was really exhausting. So imagine, I'd enjoy my 9 to 5, but before and after work, I was already drained. So on top of that, then the food was expensive. Like every time I had to report to the office, I could actually literally feel my wallet emptying. So talagang ubos talaga pera ko every time. So I just couldn't keep up with that lifestyle. That's why when I saw a LinkedIn job posting for a software developer opening at a company located in Laguna Techno Park, which is just 20 minutes away from me, even with traffic, syempre, nag-apply na ako. And during the interview, they explained that the position would actually be with their analytics team, and the internal role would be data engineer. So that's how I got my first break as a data engineer. And looking back, it was really God's timing. The nice thing is, my cloud background still helped me a lot. The company also uses AWS, so having that experience was definitely a plus, even if I don't directly work with AWS services now. So right now, as a data engineer, kahit AWS gamit ng company namin, I don't have any access to the AWS console. But more than the tools, no, it's really the practices that carried over or yung mga na-pick up ko. Like building scalable systems, debugging effectively, and designing queries efficiently. So all of those, no, I first learned as a cloud developer, and now I get to practice and improve them even more as a data engineer. So back in my cloud job, I also handled back-end and data-heavy projects. So I was already familiar with languages like PHP and JavaScript, and then creating ERDs and working with SQL versus NoSQL. So yung experience na yon sa pagiging cloud developer to transitioning to data engineer, it made my experience or transition nga much smoother. Of course, there were adjustments. I was a little sad at first kasi yun nga, hindi na ako makakapag hands-on sa AWS services. But the company gave me proper onboarding and mini projects, so I had enough time to get comfortable with data engineering tools. So the main difference I noticed is that my work now is much more SQL focused. As a cloud developer kasi before, I mostly lived in VS Code. But now, as a data engineer, I always have tools like dbeaver open for querying, plus visualization software for dashboards. So I still touch front-end or back-end sometimes with the help of AI tools, but the core of my work is really about data. Designing ETLs, managing flows, and making sure huge amounts of manufacturing, machine, and employee data are accessible, fast, and understandable. So yeah, it wasn't some dramatic career shift, wala akong change of heart or anything. It was just more about convenience, timing, and growth. But I'm glad it happened, no? Because I get to apply what I already knew while also learning a whole new side of tech. So if you're a student listening to this, one thing I want to emphasize is that sometimes career shifts aren't about a big passion change, no? Sometimes it's simply about lifestyle and practicality, and that's okay. And what matters is you keep learning whenever or wherever you are placed. Okay, so interview and hiring process. The interview process was pretty intense but also really memorable. My first interview was technical. Yes, technical agad. And my immediate superior was the one who interviewed me. He asked about my background and gave me a few pop quizzes on data and programming. Like, ano difference ng inner join sa left join, pina-explain niya sa akin yung different OOPs, and how I'd handle certain scenarios sa pagko-code. And on the same day, guys, I also had to take a written coding exam. Like pinaprogram nila ako sa papel. And I just tried my best to remember the syntax, but most of my answers ended up as pseudocode or flowcharts of how I'd approach the problem. So if you're preparing for interviews, focus on fundamentals, practice problem solving, and don't stress if you can't remember the exact syntax. Just explain your thought process. Second interview was with the global head of analytics team, and it was a mix of technical and behavioral questions. As usual with my interviews, I used the STAR method for my answers. That's when I also got oriented about the company, the ICT team, and specifically the ICT analytics team. So a few days later, I got the email saying I had passed both interviews and that the job offer was being prepared. So woohoo, I was so happy. But then a few days after that, I suddenly got a call saying they wanted me to do another interview, this time with the whole head, as in pinaka-head na ng buong ICT team. So they even mentioned that this rarely happens, which made me really nervous. Nakakaba kasi parang di raw to usually nangyayari. So at first, I thought maybe they wanted another written exam, or worse, withdraw the job offer, but thankfully it just turned out to be a casual getting to know you kind of conversation. After that, I officially received the job offer. Woo! And then met with HR and signed the contract. So throughout the whole process, my mind was simply, I've done this before, I can do it again and better. So even though data engineering was a new role for me and I didn't have direct experience yet, I just kept reminding myself that I could learn as I go. And all I had to show was that I was willing to learn, I had to stay confident and take things one step at a time. Now let's talk about something I know a lot of people are curious about: how to actually get started in data engineering. So I often get questions like, what's the roadmap? So in this section, I'll share the roadmap I would personally recommend and the skills I'd focus on if I were starting over. The first thing I do is check actual job openings for data engineers and see what skills and tools they're asking for. That way, you already know what the industry expects. From there, you can start learning those tools and, more importantly, build small projects that you can showcase in interviews, because having something concrete to show really makes you stand out. So in terms of roadmap, I'd break it down by skill areas. First, gusto ko sana matuto kayo ng ETL or data pipelines tools. So learn tools like Talent or Airflow so you understand how data flows from one system to another. Next, dapat may isa kayong alam na data visualization. You can try Superset or Power BI so you can see the output of your data work and communicate insights clearly. Next, of course, is a programming background. So Python is very useful for automation, data cleaning, and working with APIs. But again, it still depends on the company. And of course, databases. Get comfortable with relational databases like MySQL, Postgre, MS SQL, or Oracle. And then from there, also get some exposure to cloud data warehouses like AWS Redshift, BigQuery, or Snowflake. Very useful din ang cloud basics. So learn the fundamentals of any cloud platform like AWS, GCP, or Azure, especially storage and compute services like S3 and Lambda. It will take some time, no? It will take some time and consistent practice, but as long as you focus on these core areas and keep building projects, you will build both confidence and credibility. And if I had to start all over, I would spend more time building projects than just watching tutorials. My advice is, don't try to learn everything all at once. Take it talaga one step at a time, master the basics, and keep applying what you learn in real projects. So that's how you'll grow kasi into the role and eventually land your first break in data engineering. Now let's dive into skills and learning, no? Probably the most questions I get are, what skills do you actually need to become a data engineer? Which one should you focus on first? When it comes to skills, I'd say there are two sides to it: the technical and of course, the non-technical. On the technical side, you need a solid foundation in databases and SQL, and at least one programming language nga like Python, and an understanding of data pipelines and system design. Over time, you'll also learn how to decide which database to use, kung SQL ba or NoSQL, and you really have to learn kasi it will depend on the situation. Equally important, of course, are the soft skills. So as a data engineer, you're not just coding all day. Again, you're communicating with different departments, from engineers to QAs to executive to HR. That means you need to have strong communication skills to explain your work. So hindi siya yung parang porket madaldal ka, strong na yung communication skill mo. It's really about making the info digestible for others to understand. Next is logical thinking to design efficient business flows. Organizing skills, because you're gonna handle a massive amount of data. And of course, need din ng attention to detail, since even small mistakes can impact confidential reports or dashboards. And another soft skill is decision making, which is also the key, because the tools and architectures you choose will affect the whole system. As for balancing work and learning, I'm lucky because continuous learning is actually a part of our KPIs at work. So we get free Udemy access to every courses. We have a required number of learning hours per year and even workshops to skill. So we get invited to different workshops. Personally, I try to keep my weekdays strictly for work and then do self-learning on weekends to avoid burnout. In terms of theory versus projects, my approach is simple. Learn just enough theory to understand the why, then immediately apply it in a small project, kahit small lang. So if you only study theory kasi, you'll forget it. But if you only do projects naman with no foundations, you'll get lost. So the best balance is learn, apply, repeat. And over time, the projects will naturally push you to learn the deeper theory when you run into challenges. Certifications, I didn't have any data engineering related na certification before becoming one, but I definitely see their value in boosting credibility. So I do plan to pursue data-related certifications in the future. I also didn't watch or enroll in any online courses back then, but looking back, if again, I had known that I wanted to become a data engineer or if alam ko lang dati na magiging data engineer ako, I definitely would have. At the end of the day, your job is to make the data usable and understandable for others. And that's what really makes you stand out as a data engineer. Now let's move on to the tools and tech stack. Basically, what I actually use every day as a data engineer and the kinds of projects I've been working on. In the past 3 to 4 months, I've worked on different projects that really gave me hands-on experience with our tools. For example, I built a real-time dashboard that shows temperature and humidity readings of equipment or yung mga machines sa warehouse using Superset, so people can monitor the conditions live. Another project I made was an automated email notification system using Talent. So instead of someone manually checking, the system automatically sends an email to the engineers whenever a machine hits a certain limit so they can fix it right away. From my day-to-day tools, it's usually VS Code for coding and dbeaver or other database client tools for querying. Again, JavaScript and PHP, multiple DBMS like MS SQL and MySQL, and visualization tools like Superset, Power BI, and Click. And then I use Talent for ETL, and meron kaming times na nag-schedule kami ng mga batch job, and of course, Git for version control. And yes, I use ChatGPT and other AI tools mainly to help me debug or fix syntax errors in my queries. Again, these AI tools, it's not about replacing the work, but it definitely makes me more efficient. Okay, day-to-day work. So for example, may bagong project. My work usually starts by reading the project requirements or specifications so I know what's expected. So, nandun yung mga ina-expect na anong gusto nilang makita sa dashboard, nandun yung ERD, and nandun yung mga database tables that I need to get the data from. So, from there, I decide how to design the flow. Should I write queries directly? Should I create stored procedures? Should I build functions? And a big part of my job is making sure whatever I build is not only correct, but also, again, fast, efficient, sustainable, and scalable. Thousands and thousands of data ang pumapasok sa amin every day. So, may mga systems kami na kailangan real-time, may systems kami na kailangan may notification. Tapos yun, imagine yung ang daming pumapasok na data, paano namin siya ilalabas nang maintindihan ng lahat. So, of course, the work comes with challenges. In the beginning, I had to figure out where each piece of data came from. And nahirapan ako masanay sa mga manufacturing terms and climb the learning curve for new tools. And one of the most challenging projects I've worked on so far, a system na I had to count all the units in a production line. Kung na-assemble na ba sila, anong station na sila, are they packed, are they shipped, are they rejects, or are they still in process? So, yung tricky part nung project na yon was the data went all the way back to the early 2010s. So imagine having to validate, check, and display data that large. So imagine gusto rin ng user i-filter yung data ng 2019 to 2025. Diba? That's years of data that I had to make sure na correct and mapapalabas agad. And on top of that, again, there were extra validations needed, like making sure a unit really passed through all the required stations before being counted as packed. As a data engineer, for me so far nahihilo ako kasi ang daming tabs open, tas iba't ibang DBMS gamit ko. So I had to dig into so many databases and queries. But again, ang na-observe ko or ang napansin ko is with the right logic talaga and clear plan for how the flow should work, na ma-manage ko to make stuff happen. The biggest lesson I learned from that experience is that you don't need to know everything right away. What matters is knowing how to break down the problem, collaborate with others, and keep learning talaga. That mindset makes even the hardest projects manageable. So that's been my journey so far. Just 4 months into my second job, no? Still very early in my career, but already learning so much as a data engineer. If there's one thing I hope you take away is that you don't need to have everything figured out before you start. I didn't plan to become a data engineer. It was not in my plans, but I just took the opportunities that came, applied what I already knew, and kept learning along the way. Again, I'm such a big advocate or big preacher ng learn as you go talaga. So, your path might not be a straight line, and that's okay. What matters is discipline and consistency. Learning the fundamentals, building projects, asking for help when you need it, and staying open for growth. If someone like me can make the jump this early, you can too. Wherever you are in your journey right now, just keep going kasi you'll never know talaga. And yeah, that's all for my video this month. I hope you enjoyed the day in the life and me answering your questions. And actually, I'm excited to do more of these. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, to like, and comment down below anything you want to share about this video. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!